Hey guys, this is Armedfro here. I got a battle versus my buddy Risk of the Pokemon Wi-Fi. That's probably one of the best battles I've had with this team. This is a fairly new team. I made it when my other team, I realized the weaknesses of it. So I decided I literally made a team from scratch based off that. So I'm going to lead off with my Mamoswine. He's actually going to lead out with his Rotom. Only thing I can really do is set up my Stealth Rocks. As I was thinking either Will-O-Wisp or Hydro Pump. Decided to go for the Will-O-Wisp. Either way, I would have lived. I do have the Focus Sash on me, but he probably just wants to go for the Will-O-Wisp just to cripple me for later on battles. I don't know why he didn't just go for the Hydro Pump. But he goes for Hydro Pump here as I switch into my Clefable. This is a Magic Guard a support set. It has Wish, Aromatherapy, Flamethrower, and Toxic. And so on the switch, I use Aromatherapy here as he switches into his Execute. Here, I really don't want to take an Earthquake because I'm more special defensive than defensive. So what I'm actually going to do is switch into my Skarmory, which can take any hit from this Excadrill, as he actually switches. He actually goes for the Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin does no damage on me. But because I am a Rocky Helmet on me, I does 4 damage to him, and look how much damage it does to him. As right here, he actually shows that he's banded here, and he actually switches into his Noivern. I don't really know that now because Excadrill can't really do anything to him, but I set up a layer of spikes as he switches into his Noivern. I switch into my Clefable as he actually goes to the U-turn. Good prediction on his part. I resist it, luckily, because I'm a Clefable is actually pure fairy in this generation. As he switches into his Mamoswine. I really do not want to take a hit from Earthquake or Icicle Crash, so I'm going to switch back into my Skarmory. Unluckily for me, Icicle Crash is kind of like Stone Edge, and it doesn't hit me directly as he sets up his Stealth Rocks. But he can't really. The only thing he can really do is Icicle Crash. As I set up another layer of spikes, so I have 2 layers of spikes, and he set up Stealth Rocks on me. Here I'm going to switch into my Jolteon as I predict the Volt Switch, but he actually goes to Will-O-Wisp again. I'm not really worried about that. But here I'm actually an expert belted one. I really like bluffing the specs and just go for the Hidden Power Ice. Yes, I do have Hidden Power Ice on this Jolteon. Took a long time to get that, but here I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch. I do not think I could kill him with the Shadow Ball, so here I'm actually gonna switch out to actually go into my Skarmory, as he can't really do anything to me except for the Icicle Crash. And because I'm purely defensive, it's not going to do too much damage. On max adamant attack, it does about 30%. But here he's going to switch into his Rotom as I roost up just to gain some more HP. Go to full HP so I have Sturdy intact. As here I'm going to switch into my Clefable again. As he goes for the Hydro Pump. Misses. Doesn't really matter. Would have done about 20% and I would have gained 8 or 6, whatever it is. So here I'm actually going to go for the Wish as he switches into his Excadrill. I'm thinking, really, what could he do? Maybe go for the Rapid Spin again? I go for the Toxic, my bad. As, I'm thinking he's going to go for Earthquake or Rapid Spin. He goes for Rapid Spin. I predict that because he doesn't want his two layers of spikes coming up. So I go for the Flamethrower. It's not going to kill because Clefable doesn't have an amazing special attack. It's pretty much a coverage move. Any steel type that comes in, it one-hit KOs Scizor, pretty much. And so he's going to switch into his Mamoswine. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower again. Worst comes to worst, he'll switch and maybe I could get a burn. But Flamethrower does a pretty good chunk to him. I go back to full HP with leftovers as I'm going to switch into my Skarmory as he predicts that very nicely and goes into his Noivern. You see, Noivern, I'm not really worried about, mostly because the fact that I have a Mamoswine with Ice Shard, and because of the Aromatherapy, I'm not burned anymore. So I'm going to set up a layer of spikes, as I wanted to see what he was going to do. Maybe he'd U-turn, but he goes for the Hurricane. This shows right here that he is spec'd. I'm actually going to switch out and go into my Goodra. Hopefully I can take a spec'd Hurricane and do something to this Noivern. But seeing the damage on it, holy crap, that's a lot. And I'm thinking, okay, I could take one hit, but he confuses me, sadly. And the only thing I really do is just stay in, go for the Dragon Pulse. I really don't want anything else to get hit with a Hurricane. And he switches into his Goodra. I'm not really worried, as long as I hit this Dragon Pulse and I hit myself. Wonderful. Luckily, I get the health back because leftovers. But I really cannot stay in here, so I'm going to switch into my Clefable, just because he's a Dragon type. He'll probably use Dragon Pulse on my Dragon type, and if you guys didn't know, Fairy is immune to Dragon. So here's going to go into his Extra Drill, as I am actually going to, pretty sure, go for the Wish on the Switch. Yep, Wish on the Switch. Again, this is more of a support Clefable set, as here I'm going to switch into Skarmory no matter what he does. I get really good HP back. Worst comes to worst, he could probably Rock Slide me. But I get the full HP, no, not full HP, but mostly full HP. He goes for the Rapid Spin, shows that he's not banded actually, but he actually kills himself with the Rapid Spin. And now, because I know he was going to do something like that, I'm going to set up my Stealth Rock, set up my Spikes. So here, he's going to go into his Noivern. I have to switch out, and I'm going to go into my Chubby Chaser, my Clefable, to see if he can take any hit. He goes for the Flamethrower. Does a decent amount of damage because of the crit. But here, I'm going to go actually for the Toxic here, because I know his Extra Drill was the only thing that was immune to my Toxic, as he actually switches into his Mamoswine, who takes the Spikes damage, and oh my bad, I go for the Wish. Why did I go for the Wish? I should have gone for the Toxic. But here, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to stay in him predicting my Skarmory switch, as I live and go for the Flamethrower to take out the Mamoswine. I'm pretty sure, I was sure that he was going to go for the predict the Skarmory switch, so it was a very easy call just to stay in and go for the Flamethrower. Worst comes to worst, he would Earthquake me and kill me, then I could take him out. So here's going to go to a Scizor, the biggest threat on his team to my Clefable. And so I really have to switch out. I have to go into Skarmory that can take any hit from this Scizor, except maybe a Brick Break. But even after that, it gets neutral damage, unstabbed, and I can just roost up. So here, he's going to go for the Bullet Punch, not going to do jack damage to me, and he gets hit by Rocky Helmet, and he gets hit by Spikes. So this is really why I like this team. It just really wears the opponent down, and so I can just sweep endgame with my sweepers, which is my Mamoswine and my Jolteon. He goes into his Rotom Wash. I really have to switch into my Jolteon, because I really do not want to switch into my Goodra. Worst comes to worst, I get a free switch. I mispredict the Hydro Pump. But I do get a free switch into my Clefable. So he goes for the Volt Switch here, knowing that I don't have any electric immunities except for my Mamoswine, which I really don't want to switch in, because he just switched into the Hydro Pump. As he goes into the Scizor, I predict that and go for the Flamethrower. That's going to easily KO the Scizor from where he's at. And so that's his Mega completely gone. I haven't even brought my Mega out, so it is looking amazing for me. The only thing I'm really worried about is his Rotom Wash, because he has Will-O-Wisp, and I know a return won't be able to one-hit KO it, but he goes for the Sludge Bomb on his Goodra, gets the Poison. I have Magic Guard, doesn't really matter. I'm going to go for the Wish. I'm going to predict him to predict me at my switch in the Skarmory. So worst thing he could do is probably Fire Blast, and he has a chance of missing. He goes for the Dragon Pulse. I don't know why he didn't, but I don't know why he didn't use Flamethrower or Fire Blast. But luckily, I get the Wish, and and I use Toxic, which I missed sadly. But here I'm going to switch into my Skarmory as he goes for the Sludge Bomb, and he goes for the Fire Blast here, which he should have done before. That's going to easily KO my Skarmory. I thought he mispredicted, and that was the only thing he had against Skarmory. But now I'm going to go into my Mamoswine. This Mamoswine pretty much sweeps the rest of his team. Only thing he really has is his Rotom Wash against it. And so pretty much if I take out the Rotom Wash, I have the game. So here I'm going to go into my Chubby Chaser. The only thing that can really take all the Rotom Wash's hits and not be worried about Will-O-Wisp. So here I set up the Stealth Rocks with the Mamoswine, so I can actually force him to switch out his stuff. So I go for the Toxic on the Rotom Wash because that will whittle it down. Only thing, he doesn't really have any healing on his team, so all I have to do is whittle it down and then KO it. He goes for the Volt Switch here. Really good play because he kind of has to. That Rotom Wash is the only thing that can break down like Kangaskhan. So he goes into his Noivern as I use the Wish. There's two things I could do for this Wish. I could switch into Kangaskhan, take a hit, or I could switch into something else, but he goes for the Hurricane, sadly. And so now I can easily switch into this Goodra. The Wish was kind of a failure, but he actually switches out knowing I can take one Hurricane. He goes into his Rotom. I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse, see how much damage I'm going to be doing to this guy. Plus the Toxic is just really good, is looking really good for my team. So here, the Toxic damage, it looks like I'm going to 2-hit KO after Toxic and Stealth Rocks, and so I Dragon Pulse it, but he lives with 2 HP, and he goes for the rest. It is a Resto Chesto Rotom Wash. Oh my god, that pissed me off so much, because this Rotom Wash is the only thing standing in the way of victory for me right now. So here, he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp as I go for the Dragon Pulse, do as much damage as I can. Maybe I could force him to rest again, and then I'm pretty set, because Kangaskhan can take out the Rotom Wash, 2-hit KO after the rest, if he's asleep. So here I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse again. I mean, worse, I get the crit luckily for me, and he goes for the Volt Switch.
There's no better team. Arm in arm, we'll win the fight. It's always been our dream.
You go for the Hurricane.
I know it's my destiny.
My Goodra, make sure that he kills anything that comes in. So I have my Mamoswine because of the aromatherapy. It is cured from burn, and so I can actually go for the Ice Shard here. But he actually switches into his Rotom Wash. What would have happened is he would have been hit by Stealth Rocks, and then hit by Ice Shard, and then hit by Icicle Crash. That would have KO'd the Rotom. But all he has left is his Goodra and his Noivern, both Dragon types. Both can't take hits from Mamoswine. I'm going to go for the Earthquake just to make sure I do not miss the Icicle Crash, because it has 90% chance of hitting. I just do not want to miss the chance of winning this game. So all he has is Noivern. I'm going to use the Icicle Shard. So that is a very good game. It is a slim 2-0, but I didn't use my Kangaskhan. But that's actually going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, stay classy.